What is going on? You're listening to the Nintendo Powercast, episode 412. I'm one of your hosts, N64 Josh. Crawler, what is up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Crawl coming at you.
Cheesy, how are you?
What's going on, cheese curds?
And Johnny Bo. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm still hanging in there. Got like 12 days left.
12 days left. All right. Well, before we jump into this episode, of course, you guys come on over to the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. We would love to hang out with you. I talked at the end of last episode, and I have to apologize, guys. I gave you guys clues. in the end of last episode, and then I did not get a chance to get the videos up. So the videos are going up tomorrow on TikTok and YouTube that will have the answers to the clues that we talked about at the end of last week's episode. So stay tuned for that. I also want to let you guys know if there's any of you that are looking to start your own podcast, I am doing a virtual studio that all you got to do is jump in. I hit record and produce for you, and I even upload and everything like that. If you'd like more info on that, you can hit me up, josh@podcastprimenow.com. And there will be the email will be in the description. With that, Crawler, where can people connect with you?
The best spots to find me are Twitter and TikTok. Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E.
Cheesy, how about you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
And Johnny Bo.
I am Johnny Bo everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. More stuff coming soon. So
there we go. Once he finally gets out of the mines, he'll be
only 22,000 views, Johnny. Only.
Yeah.
Well, no, they were talking about the subscriber count apparently.
Oh.
And still, it's like I have like 22,000. That person was a jerk. Whatever.
22,000 people in a building. Watch what happens. Watch how many people that is. That's insane. So
for the guy who had no profile picture, no subs, telling me how I should run my stuff.
Yeah, beautiful. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Well, before we jump into this, guys, I do want to let you know. I know that more than half of you have not listened to The Legend of Zelda Whispers of Destiny, which is the fanfic choose your own adventure that I'm doing, because I can see the numbers. So that tells me a few things. Probably a lot of you guys aren't subscribed, and you might only show up for this episode, and that's fine. I'm not telling you what to do, but I will tell you this. I don't know that I've ever been more excited about a piece of content than part 2 of The Legend of Zelda Whispers of Destiny. I literally, like, the hairs were standing up on the back of my neck, and I was getting goosebumps as I was writing and coming up with the story. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but basically adapting a game like The Legend of Zelda, a game into a book, and having to come up with some creative ways to like make things work that are like, this is just a gaming trope. How do you make it work in a book? And I was able to come up with some ways that I'm so excited to share with you guys, and I cannot wait for you to hear it. So if you notice, you're going to be like in your feed, be like, what the heck is The Legend of Zelda Whispers of Destiny? That is the Zelda fanfic that I'm working on. And it is choose your own adventure. And so for everybody that did go and vote, thank you guys so much. And stay tuned for episode 2 dropping tomorrow. With that, we've all seen the Mario movie. This is going to be spoiler free. Okay, it's spoiler free as best we can. If somebody slips up, we'll kick them off the show for good. So I do want to get the picture of the plumbers up here, because look at those two kicking us off like Cheesy.
Yeah,
take it away. Like, what was your experience like at the movies going to see the Super Mario Brothers movie?
I think if you are a big fan of the Super Mario Bros. Movie 1993, you're going to enjoy this movie a lot more. It's really good. It is so fun, and it's basically like stepping into a time machine that just kind of transports you to any time that you played a Mario game or any memories you've collected. It is just pure fun, and like you're just smiling the whole time. I really enjoyed it.
From the chat, Cryptic says, can you talk about how you saw it? IMAX, Dolby, how the crowd was, etc.
So for me, we just saw the standard version. My wife, she gets sick if there's like if it's gets really loud or any kind of 3D because it's has something to do. We looked this up recently. It has something to do with her eyes and how her brain sees like the screen is moving, so it feels like she's on a ride even though she's just in one spot. But it's like her brain isn't able to like her brain and her eyes aren't able to communicate that they are just sitting in a place. They're not actually moving. So sometimes she'll get sick. So we saw it standard, and it was a pretty big screen, and the experience was a lot of fun because it was just people of all ages, and it was also great to just have some kids in there too because they're gonna laugh at things that maybe you don't find funny, or even if you found them funny, just to hear like kids laughing and just enjoying themselves. It it was made for everyone, and the critic scores that we've seen are very surprising. It does make me wonder though, like obviously we're biased because
No, we're
Yeah.
completely unbiased.
did you not know that you're a Mario fan?
It's
I
sitting
don't
at
underst-
54% from critics right now and 96 from viewers.
Well, I mean,
So-
it's an animated movie. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting it to be critically acclaimed.
Mhm.
I mean, 55 is probably low. I think the Sonic movie got like a 69 or something, or 68. So,
Yeah.
and some of the reviews that I was reading were just like, that's how you're gonna critique this movie.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
one,
weird.
this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but Mario gets the cat suit power up, and like I saw critics say, "Oh, when does Mario ever become a cat? Why would
Are they
Mario
a
be
furry?
cat?"
Yeah.
Or like maybe it appeals to furries, and I know Japanese culture, they love cats, and it's like these people clearly
Mhm.
they might have played the original Super Mario Bros. Like the day of the movie release just to try to get some understanding of what the property is, but they didn't get past the first Goomba. They probably don't even know who Bowser is or Princess Peach. Like they clearly don't understand the property.
Yeah, it's pretty upsetting that they I don't know, they were like just grading it so harshly, and like you said, not even really knowing anything about the Mario characters. But yeah, Cryptic asked by watching all the previous Illumination movies, how was that journey going into Mario, and is this the best movie by them? So for those that don't know, I went through and I watched all the Illumination movies. Mario is lucky number 13, and I would say honestly, it did kind of help me be prepared for what I was going to see. I wasn't expecting anything like Pixar tear jerking kind of storytelling or anything like that. But uh with Illumination humor, it's very slapstick, and it's for kids, and it at the same time made me appreciate watching all of the movies and kind of remembering what it's like to laugh at things that I might not find funny today, but because it's for kids, like it can be funny. And I will say it's not really a spoiler, but the way that the movie starts is the way we first saw them introduce this movie with the Bowser going to the Snow Kingdom, and it is tonally a little different than what I thought it was going to be, and I kind of had to accept, okay, this is how the movie is going to be. There's going to be music that is playing throughout. There is licensed music,
Mhm.
but if you just
But
kind
the
of like,
adaptations of classic Mario music,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's amazing.
yeah, it's great. But I guess for me, like when I first saw the trailer, it just felt more I guess, menacing for Bowser to be in the Snow Kingdom and just burn that castle down. And when they added the music, it definitely had more of a kid feel to it, but I was prepared because I knew what I was getting myself into.
So I'm just trying to think. I almost want to sit down and watch the trailers again. I feel like we had complained about this, I think, throughout. Like, are they showing too much? I feel
They
like
did.
I feel like we didn't. Short, probably for the very end, is the only thing they didn't really show off. Like, Catsuit is there, Rainbow Road, and the all the Mario Kart stuff, and the DK Fireflower stuff. Like, they showed off all that stuff that could have probably been saved for at least some kind of surprise. What do you
To
guys
me,
think?
there's things that like I don't think that we saw in trailers that I would like to talk about, but they're spoilers. Um, they did
I
show a
think there
lot
was.
of yeah.
Like, I don't think there was. I don't think there was much. It's hard to not talk about spoilers.
I know,
but
yeah.
like I don't think there was much that lifelong fans. I don't know. Like there's a lot of Easter eggs, but like I think they showed too much in the trailers. Like they could have kept some close to the chest.
But I don't know
But
if they could have, just knowing how the script works. And I'll be honest, in Hollywood, I feel like a big problem that I have is they do a lot of tell and not enough show when in playwriting or script writing, it's supposed to be show, don't tell. And with the Mario movie, I kind of feel like they did a little bit of both. They showed and they told the story, but like the script just kind of happens. Like we're in one location, there's a bit of dialogue, and then it just jumps to another location.
It's very quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 92 minutes. They're moving.
But I
think
kind of
they could have changed some things in the beginning.
Yeah.
To not make it feel as rushed, I think.
I don't know. Like I actually kind of appreciate the storytelling that we got because it does kind of feel like a Mario game in that sense. Like Miyamoto has even said that he doesn't really care too much about the story as long as the game is fun. And that's kind of what we got with the movie. Like the game or the movie is just pure fun. And then the story is just kind of there.
Yeah, but there's like a whole 10-minute sequence in the beginning that they probably didn't need.
What's interesting is the amount of Easter eggs in that 10-minute sequence is
well, no. That part
unbelievable.
is cool. I like that part.
Yeah.
It's when the Easter eggs that they showed in the beginning was really cool, but there's like fluff in that beginning sequence or beginning, like, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes that they didn't need to show in the movie, and they could have fleshed out different parts of the movie and still kept it the same runtime.
I don't know about you guys, but the previews that I got, the last one was Migration, and I was like, "Yo, it's Duck Hunt the movie," and they're gonna sell this as a two-pack.
Oh yeah, I got that same trailer, the Migration thing.
And I was like, "Yo, what is Duck Hunt doing here?" Like,
I will say that Migration trailer, it does actually look really good in the lighting and everything, but whoever put that trailer together, come on. It was just clips of previous Illumination movies and saying like, we did this and this and this and the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and now here's 5 seconds of this new movie that's coming out during the holiday. It's like, wow, that was not good, but that's beside the point. Honestly, I had fun right from the beginning. Even when they showed the Illumination title card, because there's a minion that's in a cart, and then the words Illumination light up like Mario Kart.
It does the ready set go noise,
and the Nintendo like beginning
Studio
card.
Yeah, it's just the big red screen.
That's exciting.
That was fun.
Yeah.
No, I mean the sound design in this movie makes the movie. Like the music and the sound effects, like all I was feeling was like nostalgia hit after nostalgia hit the music would change when he had a different power up, and it was just like it was perfect.
Yeah. I feel like the music is really like the superstar of this movie because
Eh,
yeah, uh, because it kind of feels like you're at Disney on a storybook ride. Like the transitions happen so smoothly, and if you're obviously Koji Kondo's music is so iconic, and Brian Tyler, who did the score for this music or for this movie, just adds some extra flair to it, and it's so good.
Cryptic's asking about Chris Pratt. What did you guys think?
So it goes for all of the voice actors. I didn't mind it, but they all just sounded like themselves, except for Toad
Hmm.
and Cranky Kong, which I actually didn't like Cranky Kong's voice.
Yeah, yeah.
But Donkey Kong sounds like Seth Rogen. Mario and Luigi. Mario sounds like Chris Pratt. Luigi sounds like Charlie Day.
But it kind of evaporated for me throughout the
Mhm.
like I don't know. I feel like in the commercial in the movie at the very beginning, I feel like Charles Martinet was used for the commercial because it sounds like classic Mario,
Mhm.
and then Chris Pratt, it's there, like he's got a lot of speaking. It doesn't really, it wasn't, it didn't like just, it didn't take me
I
out
don't
of the
think there
world,
was
I
that
guess.
much talking in the movie in general. Like it wasn't overwhelming. There weren't like
No.
big expositions except for Bowser at a few times, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Jack Black's Bowser sounded good. Like you could hear Jack Black in there, but
Mhm.
I think he did a good job. And then Keegan Michael Key, like his Toad was great. I thought, yeah, I had no idea that. Like I would not be able to tell if I didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Overall,
I'm gonna read you guys something real quick. You ready for this?
Okay.
So it says, one day the kingdom of the peaceful mushroom people was invaded by the Koopa, a tribe of turtles famous for their black magic. Now, I've mentioned this before. I had to hide this instruction booklet from my mom because it said black magic. The quiet, peace-loving mushroom people were turned into mere stones, bricks, and even field horsehair plants, which is the piranha plant. Where am I at here? And the mushroom kingdom fell into ruin. The only one who could undo the spell of the mushroom people and return them to their normal selves is the Princess Toadstool, the daughter of the Mushroom King. Unfortunately, she is presently in the hands of the great Koopa Turtle King. Mario, the hero of the story, maybe hears about the mushroom people's plight and sets out on a quest to free the mushroom princess from the evil Koopa and restore the fallen kingdom of the mushroom people. You are Mario. It is up to you to save the mushroom people from the black magic of the Koopa. I don't know about you guys, but reading that, I mean, obviously there's changes, right? It's not, but they stayed so true to source material.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So true, in fact, that I can't mention it because I think it's weird to me that we're not even mentioning like locations or music because it feels like spoilers for this movie. And I can't wait for you guys to hear the Easter egg episode that's going to be coming out following this one. And then we're going to be doing a spoiler cast directly after this, just not live, so we don't spoil anything for people coming in and people can choose to listen or not. But there's just so many things that stayed true to source material. And you guys were talking about the voices and stuff. Like, I feel like the way they handled the voices was like, I loved how they did it. I did not feel like it pulled me out of the immersion, if you will, or like it didn't like they leaned heavy into it at the beginning, the way they did things. Like, if and I think everybody's heard the commercial that they did. There's very much Italian accents in that, sounding like Charles Martinet and everything. And I heard it best where it was like the Italian accent were there, but then Chris and Charlie kind of leaned into the Brooklyn accents a little bit more, and I mean, and you guys were talking too about like the how much they showed for this. You have to remember, this isn't the first Mario movie that came out, and the last one was tarnished. So they really, to me, it was an uphill battle of like, we need to make sure, and not to mention tarnished, but I mean, up until recently, gaming movies in general have been not great. Sonic was good, and some of the newer Mortal Kombats are okay, and there's others that have come out that have been decent, but even Uncharted kind of stumbled a little bit, right? It wasn't.
But if
quite...
anything, Last of Us and this movie are giving Hollywood or studios or whoever needs to know, the creator of the original property needs to be involved, because
I also think they need to keep it close to source material.
Yes, that's right there.
That's the big thing. Everybody loved Last of Us, and that's the game. Like they didn't really change much from the game. And
I said it in my review of this movie. It's the movie I would have made as a kid. Like when I watched the 93 Mario Brothers, I was like, who did they talk to about this? Like, who makes these decisions? How could they have, like, did they ever play this game? I felt like as a preteen, I'm like, I could have made a better movie. Like, why did they not like, I remember literally thinking this, like, did they not like talk to any kids? We would have told them exactly what's up. Like, do this. Why is Yoshi a velociraptor? This is not Jurassic Park.
Why are the Goombas little tiny head guys?
What is up? Why is Bowser like super creepy? Like yeah, it was just bizarre. And this stayed so true. And didn't this get delayed, if I remember correctly? Wasn't it supposed to be out?
Yeah, it did.
I'm so glad.
It's supposed to be out in December.
Yeah, and I'm glad they put the touches they did on it and gave it the time it needed, because I mean, I'm going for my third time on Saturday with my nephew, and I cannot wait. And he's so adorable, because he was like, he's an old soul, and he's like, I think he's in second grade, and he's like telling his mom for spring break, we've done a lot. I'm just excited to be home and not do anything. Right. And then she's like, well, your uncle wants to take you to do a sleepover and do Mario movie. Oh, well, I definitely want to do that. Like, I'm good. I definitely want to go and do that. So
can I go back to how my theater experience was?
Please. Yeah.
So we went last night at like 9:00 my time. I wasn't expecting many kids to be out at that time because it's 9:00. There were some, not a lot, but there were like teenagers, like probably high school on their spring break or whatever. And they are jerks.
What happened?
So, all right. So there was a group of teenagers like in front of us, and we would laugh at something, and then one of the teenagers in front of us would like mockingly laugh. They'd be like, the whole time.
They weren't doing a Seth Rogen impression?
No, they were just making fun of like people that were enjoying the movie, and it like kind of took me out of it. And I was so annoyed at these teenagers. Like, who are you trying to impress at a Mario movie?
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
So
my experience was
kids.
Yeah. Don't be nice, everybody. Let people enjoy things. Both of my experiences were great. There was a ton of little kids, and you know how it is in a movie theater with little kids. You're like, oh no, like what's this going to be like? And I mean, there were a couple instances of like, I got to go to the bathroom. Like I heard that once, but my favorite thing was hearing kids go, I remember doing that in the game, or, oh, I remember this part. I did this, and hearing those moments of just like, they are just, for some of them, this is their first, like, this is their introduction to Mario, right? Then they get to go home and play some of these games, or maybe they already like, could you imagine being a kid right now? Like,
and being like, oh, I want to play a new Mario game. And then they're like, oh, there's no new Mario games because Nintendo didn't release one to coincide with the movie, which makes absolutely no sense. They've had 6 years.
Crawler, how was your experience?
It was good. I went like immediately after work yesterday, and so there were a few kids in there. I nothing really took me out of the experience. I saw it in Dolby, so it was the nice sharp digital projection. But yeah, it was good. I thinking back, I think like the Luma definitely was a scene stealer when Luma was on screen.
Yeah.
But again, unfortunately, I feel like most of it was shown off in trailers already.
Yeah, I feel like the Luma would have been a cool thing not to show in trailers.
That third trailer that they showed, we didn't need at all.
So I'm going to push back, guys. I'm going to push back, not because I disagree, because for us, we didn't need anything. We could have had the picture that we have on the screen right now, and we would have been there, right? But this movie's breaking records. So it's like, it's hard to say, oh, they shouldn't have when it's doing what it's doing, right? Like, and I can't say that showing the third one would have changed the way people would have shown up. But I mean, the tins at my theater were sold out yesterday. There was 150 of them. They were gone.
And now they're on eBay.
And now they're on eBay. And so I go to movies often. I went and saw Dungeons and Dragons. I went and saw John Wick twice. And I usually go alone. I usually just go to movies alone. And there's usually very few people in there. The unfortunate thing is my theater, it was shut down for like a couple months because of weird electrical issues, and then it finally opened. Most people don't even know that yet, but this is the fullest the theater has been, and it felt like pre-COVID movie time. And it was like there was energy, especially today. There was more people in the theater today than yesterday, and everybody was laughing at that stuff. Some people were laughing at stuff that I was like, I don't even know if it was that funny as hard as they were laughing, but I was like, I'm kind of here for it. They're just losing themselves in this film, and that's really what it's about, right?
There was some article that I don't remember if it was Miyamoto said that they think that like Super Mario Bros. Movie is gonna be like the catalyst to get more people to go to the movie theater again.
I think this was definitely a jump. Like this weekend, like 2 weeks ago, John Wick came out. This weekend has Air and Mario movie, which I think are both being well received. I'm curious what's going to do better.
Air like flopped on day one.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So I mean, Mario movie was probably going to win the weekend. I mean,
and Dungeons and Dragons the week before wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
And we have Across the Spider-Verse coming out later this year. We have
Ninja Turtles,
yeah. A lot of the stuff, and Barbie,
out.
like all the stuff that was advertised at the movie, like it's going to be a big year. I feel like not that Oscars matter, but like Spider-Verse is probably going to be the favorite for animation going into Oscar season, but like I thought this was really well done. So I mean, I almost think that soundtrack wise, like is it adapted? Is there an adapted?
I think you're thinking of the Game Awards.
Soundtrack.
Isn't there an adapted game like adaptation now, like a video game adaptation?
There is, yeah. But
I mean, but like for soundtrack, I mean, I feel like it definitely could be up there for an Oscar, but like that's also our bias, I guess, of just the nostalgia of the songs.
But it's how they incorporated. It was so creative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of movies that are showing too much in the trailers, the Spider-Verse is as well.
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
They showed the meme. Like, why are you showing the meme? That is a cool.
That was at the end of the first movie. That was a post-credit scene.
But like you hold those things in. Hold those in.
But it's the only thing I remember from the trailer.
Yeah, I think if you know exactly what is happening in that movie, then you should be telling everyone your theories.
You should be working for the FBI.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, they also mentioned the
about...
MCU, and they're talking about Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man from 199.
But like that's not the point of showing. Like showing too much doesn't mean giving away the whole plot. It means like you want to like
You want them to save the cool stuff.
Yeah, why do they have to show some of these Easter eggs for like the fans? Like that should be kept close to the heart, and then fans would be talking about it.
Yeah,
when it comes out.
I mean, again, there's things I feel like with the Mario movie that they didn't show in the trailers that were cool to see. And those were nice surprises. But yeah, we did see a lot with the advertising. But just to give people an idea of, how much this movie is going to make, the Despicable Me franchise has grossed a total of more than 4.4 billion. I don't even know if that's like counting the 2 Minion movies.
Aren't there
That's
like
insane.
30 Despicable Me movies though? Like aren't there like a ton of them?
No, there's
like
just three.
and then
there's
Rise of Gru.
two Minion movies.
So 3
Well, I
plus
think this
Rise of
movie's
Gru plus
gonna
2 Minion.
get close to $1 billion. It might not cross it. It'll probably be like 800 million at least.
But it has me excited. Like, I think there's articles coming out today that Charlie Day would be on board with doing a Luigi's Mansion if asked. I think Seth Rogen said he would do a Donkey Kong movie if asked.
That was already reported though before we even got the first trailer. There were rumors of them already working on a Donkey Kong movie, and that
they
was
said there's
surprising.
no plans right now.
Right, there's definitely plans.
Just like there's no Mario game. Just like, oh yeah, stay tuned to Nintendo Directs to see a Mario game.
Yeah.
Duh.
I hate PR speak. It's so annoying.
Yeah, they can't. There's no way they're mentioning a Mario game before Zelda.
I don't think it would matter.
It'll be like a week before. I
mean, they released this movie a month before Zelda.
They're like. They've become so regimented in their marketing that we just know it's like, okay, the mum's the word up until like maybe a week before Zelda launches. Then
they tweeted about Advance Wars today.
Yeah, it was crazy.
When does that come out? Next week?
The 21st.
You're on a Nintendo podcast. You should know every date, Crawler.
Yeah.
I definitely did not get that off the tweet and only know it because of that tweet.
Same here. I'm in the same boat.
I think we should probably go back and talk about the voice acting because that was a major discussion when this movie came or when it was first announced and the casting choices that they made. And I'm a fan of Seth Rogen. I think he's always trying to be creative or come up with creative ideas and do things that haven't been done before. But I will say with the interview that he had recently where he was just like, yeah, if you want Seth Rogen or Donkey Kong to sound like Seth Rogen, that's what you're going to get. And I think that is pretty crappy to voice actors who would have put in the work. However, I think he's a good Donkey Kong, and I think the voice fits. I think that it was from the beginning. I thought he was the right person because you're telling me that guy isn't just hanging out in the jungle in a hammock eating bananas all day.
Well, and he's a fan too of video games. Like
true, yeah. His dog is named Zelda. And that voice, his voice is iconic. That voice alone is making him money. So I understand why he wouldn't want to change his voice. But for voice acting as a profession, it's pretty crappy to like just come out and say like, no, I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, I think Fred Armstead was kind of the weirdest choice out of all of them. Like Cranky Kong didn't sound.
Yeah, I didn't like that voice.
Great. I mean,
it was surprising because Fred Armisen is a man known for doing different characters, and like that was the sign off that they went. Like, it just without spoiling it sounds like a character from SNL.
Yeah,
it was a little strange for me though. The interaction between Donkey Kong and Mario. I felt more like drawn in and like loved the dynamic between Seth and Chris. Like it just it almost gave me like the like again, it's Chris Pratt, but you know how Guardians just has the Guardians of the Galaxy, they just have that banter. Like Chris excels with that. And you get somebody in there like Seth Rogen who can kind of push buttons, and then that laugh is only going to push more buttons. Like it just, to me, it just worked. I was like, yo, I feel like they knocked it out of the park. Like,
but was that like one of the biggest criticisms I've seen is the fact that they split Luigi and Mario early on. Like that dynamic, I think, could have been great for Luigi and Mario to be together. Then
I think that was a choice because they didn't want to have Peach be the damsel in distress.
True.
Which I thought Peach was fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
She was awesome. But I think it even played to Luigi's character that they introduced like in the beginning, and how his personality is, and how Mario and Luigi interact with each other in everyday life. So I think it made sense in that way. And I think, if they have, I'm sure they're going to do sequels or something, they'll have more interactions together.
Yeah. Well, and there's some foreshadowing in that 10-minute sequence that you didn't like in the beginning as well about Luigi's dependence on Mario.
Yeah. No, I understand what there's only certain parts of the opening that I did not like. And we'll talk about it in the spoiler cast, because even though I didn't like the parts, I don't want to tell people what they were.
Yeah. No, we definitely could have used more Charlie Day, and I'm sure a lot of the internet is probably saying the same thing, because it's Charlie Day. Like how do you not have him on screen? And like he is, and he sounds great, but like he's sidelined a lot of the movie.
I can see where you guys are coming from. The only reason it doesn't bother me is because it leaves like it means that the sequels have so much to look forward to, right? Like the thing with this game or this movie, and I keep saying game because we talk about games so much, I'm not used to saying movies. Is it really like I read the game description, the game description early on, it really feels like the beginning of something, right? And we'll talk about it more in the spoiler cast, because there's so many things that they point to, so many different Easter eggs that are like, okay, where are we going? Some of the theories that I have right now of just like, oh, this could be interesting, but I totally agree that their dynamic was so good together, and I'm excited for what the future holds because of it, right? Like it's almost one of those things that was like, it sucks that we didn't get more of them, but at the same time, I'm like, everybody's dynamic was good. And the thing is, if you go back to the Mario's inception, it was him and Donkey Kong. It wasn't him and Luigi.
Yeah.
So it's even somewhat more true to source material, right? Because Super Mario Brothers is the what the movie is based on, but there's so many things that point back to Donkey Kong, and it still blows my mind, you guys, seeing Universal and Nintendo on the same screen, because 35 years ago they were in court fighting over Donkey Kong and King Kong.
Yep.
Almost 40 years. Like that's crazy to me.
What I really like about Mario's character in this movie is that he's not cocky. He's kind of unsure of himself and has to kind of figure out who he is. And it's just not something that I think I would have expected. I guess I would have thought that Mario thought that he was all that in a bag of chips, but no, he has to go on his own journey, just like how we always have to go through the journey. And it's kind of cool to see him just kind of grow from that.
What I feel like it was a good way of showing confidence, right? He was very confident, but not arrogant. And
well, and it builds confidence throughout the movie too. He's not confident in the beginning.
Well, he is.
I think he's a little too confident in the beginning.
He gets a little like, because when it comes to his brother, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but he doesn't put up with much, right? And so, but I mean, even the entrepreneurial side of me, when they're like trying to get their plumbing business off the ground, they spent their life savings, right? Like it's I don't know. I was like, yo, I'm digging this Mario, because I mean, I have a book about Mario, right? And it's like he doesn't quit. He's relentless. No matter the level he's at, he just keeps going. That's how the games work, right? But I mean, I love that as an illustration just for life, where he's just like, he in the movie was like, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. So I love that aspect of it.
No spoilers, but were you happy with how the Mario Kart scenes went?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, especially when the carts were first introduced. That was like,
yeah, that was really great.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, this is so rad. And I mean, there were literal moments in the theater. That was one of them where I was like, oh my god, like I would just even like speak audibly, like I'm like, oh wait a minute, I'm in a movie. But like there were times that I was just like, yo, I am loving this so much. Like
there's a part of me that I wish it was a little bit longer. I wish the Mario Kart scene was a little bit longer.
I want just a Mario Kart movie, like that space in Kong Kingdom. Like I want more of that, and just I'm sure they could make something out of Mario Kart being a thing.
I mean, they have Cars. They have Cars, the movie.
Yeah, so they would just do like kind of a Fast and Furious style, and Fast and Furious is made by Universal. So
yeah, I mean, make some reason why they need to go through the 4 Grand Prix or whatever. I mean, something.
Take Ford you versus around Ferrari, Mario Kart style.
Yeah.
No,
there's so much they could do with. Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they do sequels. If Mario is so many different things in the games, he's a doctor. He plays baseball, soccer, basketball, you name it. I wonder if they'll go into anything like that for his character.
It would not surprise me, if he's out there trying a bunch of different things. Because from my understanding, they tried to get the whole plumbing thing. Like they tried to move away from it, or they didn't want, he started as a construction worker with Donkey Kong and then went into plumbing. But then now I don't know that the plumbing's hardly ever talked about, right? It's all just,
it's just because of pipes.
That's the only thing there. So, but I read something or saw some kind of tweet or something that was talking about how like Nintendo was trying to move him away from the whole plumber thing, apparently. But they've
reiterated that with this movie, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I think it, and I don't know if it was from a couple of years, like 10 years ago, something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm glad they just full on embraced it, like, because it just fit.
So looking at this picture, I really wish Nintendo would have played into this movie in their have an event in their games, put this van in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Or
still time.
The van doesn't run though, so.
Oh, true.
But just have some type, I don't know. It's your biggest property. It's gonna make probably the most ever for an animated movie or an animated video game adaptation.
Yeah.
And you have no
Yeah,
your
'cause-
promotion is NFTs on the Nintendo
Because
Switch.
I did come home last night and I wanted to play something Mario, and I ended up playing a few races of Mario Kart, but like I didn't go do anything else. It would have been nice to have something new. And I mean the stuff that we did see of other kingdoms or whatever in the trailer was kind of just what we saw in the movie too. It was kind of just in passing as they were on their way to the Kong Kingdom, pretty much. So I mean, there's a lot more out there that they could explore if they wanted to. We didn't see any airships. Like, just I would be on board with seeing.
I mean, I would argue that Bowser Kingdom is like an airship.
Yeah, but like not the traditional Mario 3 airship.
Yeah, but you just said it. Mario 3.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
I want
they had some Mario 3. Like they had
some
the
Mario 3. They had
suit.
Tanuki, and they had
Redacted, and they had
the Tanuki suit. I wished for one thing. I wanted to see him get stuck as a statue.
I was waiting for him to do to be a statue. I was really waiting for him to do that.
I just wanted to have him be like, how do I get out of this? You know, like seeing his eyes. Like,
and they had an opportunity to probably do like a frog suit or something if they wanted to, and they didn't.
There was a scene where I thought
I don't
they
know if
could
talking
have...
about what is not in there is a spoiler. That might be a spoiler. What's not in there
could be.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say, Cheesy?
Cheesy?
I was just saying, I guess with the frog suit, since we brought it up, there was a scene where I actually thought that might have come into play, but it didn't. But with you guys talking about a new Mario game, we don't know what Nintendo's holiday game is. So it's still possible that we could get something, because it's Pikmin, right? Is the last game that we know
July,
of the scheduled season.
Like, come on, like if it's coming out in the holiday, they probably could have got it out for this.
I mean, I think it's pretty smart to just give you Mario here, give you Mario there. They're so smart at like kind of spacing out.
I think it's a bad idea doing it that way.
Really?
Because people are gonna watch the movie and they're gonna be like, "Oh man, I really want to play Mario," and then 6 months down the line, people aren't gonna care about the movie anymore.
It'll coincide when it releases on home video or whatever. I did also see a rumor that said maybe it was gonna end up on Prime Video here within like a month.
I saw Netflix.
Something.
There's a steelbook with the Blu-ray. I saw it's kind of cool. It's all black
the
with
star.
The mushroom.
Maybe they'll release something when it actually comes to home.
That's a Walmart exclusive, I think, is the Superstar case.
Okay. If it is going to streaming, it's probably going to Peacock, since that's NBC Universal.
Yep.
It was so annoying during my Illumination rewatch because everything was on Peacock, and like you could get it for if you had like the top tier whatever. I was like, I'll just go to Amazon and I'll rent it.
So, closing thoughts before we're gonna jump over to a spoiler cast. So we're not gonna do live, so we don't spoil anything for anybody. Crawler, closing thoughts on the give it. This is our review. Like, give it your score.
9 out of 10. I mean, I was smiling and happy, and I think the very first thing I hopped in the Discord while I was waiting for the post-credit stuff to pop up, and first thing I said to you guys was it was great. The music was amazing. Like, the music is the standout in this movie. Johnny,
how about you?
I'll give it a 9.5 only because of those first 20 minutes were not my favorite. The music makes the movie. I loved all the Easter eggs and references. It was just like an ode to fans, or a love letter to fans. And if you like Mario, you're gonna love the movie. So,
Cheesy,
I give it a 9 out of 10. It's such a blast. It's so much fun, and yeah, there are Easter eggs. But what's kind of nice about those Easter eggs is they don't feel distracting. There's some movies that just will have Easter eggs all the time, and they'll point them out and like bring attention to them. And like there's a ton of Easter eggs in this movie if you want to look for them. But otherwise, is you just keep on going. I love the music. I actually thought the voice acting was really good. It kind of just we talked about it earlier, but with the voice acting, like you see the commercial and the charm that it has with the Mario and Luigi, and you kind of are just already in for the ride. Like that's how they sound. It's good. So no, for me, it's a 9 out of 10. The script is a little lacking in the sense of just this is where we're going. It's not really deep. It doesn't need to be deep, but it just is. It just bounces a lot.
I will give it a 10 because I just after seeing it the second time, I'm like, there's so like I felt like a kid in a candy shop, honestly, watching all of the like looking the thing that was killing me was taking notes on my phone because I'm like, I know I'm gonna miss something. I knew I was gonna miss something, but it's there's I saw some tweets from like I think Andre from Game Explain, and he was like moments that he was like almost emotional, and I was like, that's crazy. And then I was like, wow, there's a few moments that I'm like, man, that kind of hit me really hard. I was like, this is pretty rad. Like it really it really pulled me in, and I was able just to really lose myself. And watching it the second time, I was like, how did time go by so quick? Like it did not even feel like an hour and a half. It was like it was just like over again. I was like, whoa. But yeah, there was so much more the second time that like this movie is just packed, and I cannot wait to go frame by frame through this thing and like be able to zoom in on some stuff and see like what are we missing here? What did they try to show? And we'll talk about it more in the spoiler cast because we got all kinds of theories and all kinds of different Easter eggs that we saw, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So thanks again for listening, and remember to check out those 2 TikToks or those YouTube shorts I'm going to put out tomorrow. Go back to the last episode to the very end to listen to the clues. And if you guys have questions on the whole scavenger hunt that we're doing, let me know, because I'm being very vague with it. I want it to be difficult because, like I said, there's $100 prize up right now. And for anybody that has not picked up Mario Kart or a handful of other Mario games, tomorrow, Friday, the 7th, the sale ends for there's a handful of games that are $40 right now.
They don't even have the sale go through the weekend. What are they thinking?
Well, they want all their money. That's what they're thinking. They're like, oh, you guys are hyped to buy Mario Kart now, So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.